Hi everybody, so we're talking about the interpret linear functions coefficients from graphs, okay? So this is the one a lot of you have been having trouble with, one, because you don't want to read it, and two, you need to determine the information based on the graph. So Easton filled up his car with gas before embarking on a road trip across the country, okay? Let G represent the number of gallons of gas remaining in his tank, and the T hours representing T representing the hours, okay? So we are using the variables T and G, but as we've done in every other problem we've ever done, this is Y equals MX plus B, okay? So the only difference is instead of this being X and this being Y, we're writing it as G equals MT plus B, okay? So we have G. It's already given us. That's what we're solving. So we don't have to put the G equals. We are working with MT plus B. I always like to write that in there and then change the letters as I go. So the T isn't going to change. It's going to stay the same, just like our X always stays. But our M, remember, M stands for the slope, okay? So rise over run, and I am horrible writing with these, but it's our slope. So if we look at our slope, all right, apparently I have to upgrade. I'm going to go from 12 down to 9 over to 2. So if I look at that, I went down 3, right 2. So my slope in this case will be -3 over 2. Okay? Our T, our variable stays the same, T. Be careful, sometimes it's T, I've seen X, I've seen a few other letters in there, but those are the most common ones. Then our B, okay, what is B? B is the y-intercept, okay? Y-intercept. So where it hits the y-axis. Where does it hit that y-axis? Right there. Okay, so right there. And so that number is 12. Now, be careful. Make sure you're paying attention to your slope. You could have wrote 3, 2. That's fine, but this is going down, so you need to know that this is a negative slope. Okay, so we've got our equation. Equation's done. The y-intercept of the function is, well, what was our y-intercept? That's 12, which represents, what does that represent? Look at the graph. Read the question. This one says the number of gallons remaining in the tank and the number of hours driven. Okay, so we're talking about how he's driving and how much tank is in his, or how much gas is in his tank. So does the 12 represent the number of hours driven until the tank is empty? Did he drive 12 hours before his tank was empty? No. The number of gallons of gas used per hour driven, did he use 12 gallons of gas for every hour he drove? No. The number of gallons gas used per mile, okay, well, first off, there is nothing in this graph talking about miles, and he didn't use 12 gallons of gas per mile. And last but not least, the initial amount of gas in the tank. Did he start with 12 gallons of gas in his tank? Yes. The y-intercept is always the starting point. Okay? Awesome. Now, you're doing exactly the same thing for every one of these. Be careful, because the things that will change is it will ask for what the slope means, what the y-intercept means, and what the x-intercept. Now the x-intercept is the same thing, but it's where it hits the x-axis. Read through these statements, okay?